Hello everybody, good evening, good evening, good evening Abhisha, Shingarika, Kritika, Achika. Good evening, good evening. Just wait. Just I'm going to start the class. Just wait. I just let me set the mic and all. Okay, fine. So my voice is audible. Clarity is there. Anybody can answer me? I hope all are fine. I hope my voice is clear and this board work is this. I want to say enough light is there on the board. Video is clear, fine. Archika, thank you. So my voice is clear. Clarity is there in my voice. Any disturbance? Okay. Just wait. Okay, fine. So I welcome you back in my virtual class, 10th ICSC. Okay, today we are going to start the chapter circulatory, and let me tell you one thing. This reduction in the course actually. Okay, we got some circular from the council, and many chapters have been deducted. Don't worry. So let me tell you. Please note all of you. This chemical coordination plant is deleted now this year. Okay, and evolution is not there, and even population is not there. Some part is there. I'll tell you. I have noted down. Don't worry. So this chapter is there. We have all systems, but population, pollution, and these have been deleted. Evolution is deleted. Okay, fine. So I hope I'm clear. So I repeat, chemical coordination is not there in course now. So I was saying now we have this circulatory system. Okay. So whatever I will teach you, this is only in course. Am I clear what I'm saying, Bacho? Are you understanding what I'm saying? Okay, fine. Okay, so chemical coordination is not in course now. Chemical coordination is not in course, and that evolution chapter is also not in course, and pollution is also not in course. Population is also not in course, but one part only, tubectomy, vasectomy, that is in course. I'll teach you. Rest only last chapter is, if you see a book of Selena, last chapter is reproductive system. After that, no chapter is there. Okay, so it's a good news. Chapter 2. But chapter 2 is there, chapter 1 is not. Actually, chapter 2 cell is better. Cell division is there. Chapter cell is not there. Okay. Don't worry. I will. even on the group I'll send wisdom 10 na. Dikshant Yadav, don't worry. See what I'll do. I will click the picture and I'll send to our group of ICSC Intensive Wisdom. Okay, don't worry. I'll send whole syllabus. Okay, for these boards. Okay, fine. Let us start. If we talk about this chapter and in our body, if you talk about our body, we have here lungs, you all know. Even we have here stomach, this, and then we have this part, you all know, intestine. Okay, this you all. And even if you talk about this part, we have kidneys also. If I draw this part, we have kidney. Even if you talk about our, this is our brain. In our brain also we have one gland, that is pituitary gland, that is part of our endocrine gland, and that is very important for the hormones. And this is our lungs for respiration, and this part is for digestion, and from this is our excretion of urea from blood outside the body via urine. Okay, so if you talk about this part, I hope up to here I am clear. Okay, fine. If you talk about this part, it is our body. We have some glands, like we have endocrine glands for the circulation of hormone. We have lungs for respiration. When is respiration means it all happened through blood. If you talk about hormone, circulation is through blood only, means transportation. It means if you talk about transportation, in our body, if you talk about transportation of hormone, if you talk about oxygen and carbon dioxide, if you talk about food, if you talk about urea, okay, whatever transported, it is done by blood. So in our body, if you talk about our body, we need certain hormones for the development of our body. We need to give out oxygen, take in oxygen and take out carbon dioxide. We need food for each and every tissue and cells. When in the blood we have urea, it has to be taken out of the body with the help of kidney. So this is actually kidney. So it means in our body, if you talk about this chapter, circulatory system, we have hormones. Hormones need to reach all the organs of the body, and this is transported by the blood. If you talk about oxygen, has to be transported to all the cells. This oxygen, it has to be transported to all the cells. At the same time, carbon dioxide is released from the tissues and cells, and this is transported throughout the body with the help of blood. If you eat food, food is digested here, finally digested here, and then from here, with the help of blood, it is transported to all parts of the body by the circulation of blood. when after when there is further breakdown of food items like especially protein, food is further broken down into urea and amino acids or glucose. If you talk about this, if you talk about sorry, if you talk about if you take any extra amino acid, it further broken down by liver into glucose and urea. So whenever we eat more protein, if you take more chola bhatura, if you take more milk, if you take more any kind of food dairy product or meat or fish or meat, if you take extra protein, it is changed into amino acid after digestion. Then in the liver, this extra amino acid cannot be stored in the body. So with the help of liver, it is further broken down into glucose and urea. Urea is used by the cells or stored as a glycogen. And this urea is poisonous and it is taken out by kidney. And it is transported to kidney, this urea, with the help of again blood. So it means if you talk about different components which has to be supplied to the cells and tissues, if you talk about the different components which has to be taken out of the body, for everything we need transportation, and this transportation is done with the help of blood. Therefore, name of the chapter is circulatory system. And in our body, for transportation of hormone or gases or food or urea to kidney, then out of the body, for everything, one circulatory system is needed. For the circulatory system, we have one medium for transportation, that is blood. And we have one more medium, that is lymph. So we have two components for this transportation in our body. It is through main is blood, and in some part it is lymph, that is lymphatic system. If up to here I am clear, please say yes sir or no sir. Please let me know. Anybody can say. If up to here I am clear, can say yes sir or no sir. Anybody? Anybody can say if up to here I am clear. Anybody can say yes sir or no sir. Kindly answer. Okay, thank you. Fine. So I was up to here. Up to here I am clear. So therefore we need. So this is the need of circulatory system. Therefore, we need blood and lymph for circulation, but especially we need blood for circulation of all the things. By the endocrine system, or by respiratory system, the form of gases exchange, food for the intestine, and urea for the kidney. So everywhere we need a circulation, and this circulation is possible only with the help of blood. I hope up to here I am clear. Archika, thank you. Only one girl answered. That is good. All should answer at least. Next topic I'll touch fluids in our body. Suppose let us magnify one part of our body. Suppose this is our Okay, so suppose this is our one organ, that is stomach, and no doubt this all part, the stomach or intestine, anything, we have everywhere so many cells and tissues everywhere in our body. This also made up of cells, and here also this whole part is tissue only. So many cells are there. Okay, so it means in this part it is something like this. Understand? If you further divide this part, and this part is further divided, okay, so I have written about part number 1, this part is 2, this part is 3, this part is 4, and this part is 5, suppose. So in our body, from heart and to heart, this is circulation in our body. It means there is one fluid, that is blood. So number one fluid is blood. I'm teaching this time. So there's a main fluid for circulation in our body, that is called blood. Blood is circulated in our close blood vessels, and this blood is pumped from the heart to all body parts, and from the body parts, so I can say it is something like this: two body parts, and here from body parts. When I say body parts, mean organs. This is the circulation in our body. This blood is pumped towards the body parts, and from the body part, this blood comes back to the heart. This circulation is a close circulation in our body, and it is done with the help of blood. And for this, there are three blood vessels for this, for circulation of blood. One is artery, one is vein, one is capillary. So number one, if let me explain this part to you. This part is artery, and this part is vein. And if you talk about the movement of blood would move from artery to capillaries and to vein. This is the movement in our body. I repeat, from the heart to artery, artery to capillary, capillary to vein. This is the direction of circulation. This is the basics. Please understand this. Okay, I hope you are understanding, all of you. Anybody, just you can say yes or no, sir. So it gives me clarity. So if you tell me clearly, sir, what I am teaching, if you are understanding, so it's easy for me to move further, or I would understand that should I stop here, should I go slow, should I go faster? You could help me always. Okay, so you could help me. Anybody? Should I continue or should I explain again? But this is the basics. You should understand this. Anybody can answer me? Today students are quite less, I could see. Fine. So I was saying here, this blood is circulated in three blood vessels. These are three blood vessels. These are blood. It means blood is circulated through these three blood vessels. They are called blood vessels. In our body, one is artery, one is vein. I'm here. Circulation of in our circulation of fluids in our body. So one fluid is very important, that is blood. It is circulated in our body through artery, vein and capillary. So these three are called blood vessels. And I'm telling you here how it is circulated. I told you heart pumps the blood first into artery, then it moves, this blood moves to capillary, from capillary it again moves to vein. So from the heart, from here to body parts, again from body parts to heart. This is the circulation in a closed circuit I could see in our body. But so number one is this part is artery, and number fifth this part is vein, and number three is capillary. And diffusion takes place only through capillary, because capillary, these are, I can say, single wall thick, they are very fine. So diffusion in our body takes place only from capillaries, means these are thick cells. In vein thick cell is there, but in capillary cells, wall of the capillaries of this blood vessel is quite thin. It may be even single wall thick. So diffusion may takes place from here only throughout the body. If I talk about diffusion, so keep in mind, when I say diffusion, it is made diffusion of gases, diffusion of food. When I say food, I'm talking about glucose, I'm talking about amino acid. Okay. When I say diffusion, it takes place from here. Even some extent may be fatty acid, but these are very big molecules. So main is glucose and food. Diffusion, so the diffusion of food takes place from intestine. Diffusion of gases takes place from lungs. So, but in all the parts there is this combination: artery, capillary, and vein. Just keep in mind: artery, capillary, and vein. So let me tell you a bit further here, that this part, number 2, this part is called arteriole. Number 4 part is called venule. It means, this keep in mind, blood first enters into artery. The branches of arteries are called arteriole. The further branches of arteriole is called, this whole part is called capillary. Capillary reunites to form some branches, that is called venule. Afterward there is one big branch, that is called vein. This is a combination of formation of different blood vessels. Basic 3 blood vessels are there: artery, capillary, and vein. But this combination between this complex between artery and capillary, it is called arteriole. This complex between capillary and vein, it is called venule. So we can divide further, more precisely, more clearly: artery, arteriole, capillary, venule, and vein. Means branches of artery called arteriole, and when branches are reuniting to form vein, these are called venule. And this fine network is called capillary. In our body, diffusion may be from kidney for the urea, diffusion of food from intestine, diffusion of gases from lungs, all takes place through capillary only. Therefore, these capillaries are very important for the diffusion of different substances and gases. I hope up to I'm clear. If everything is clear, you can tell me, sir, I'm clear here. Anybody can answer me. Okay, so I hope there is no disturbance of the fan and there's enough light, and I hope whatever I am trying to explain you, it is clear, because this chapter is very important, not for the board marks. See, if I'll teach you and you'll follow me, you'll get very good marks, don't worry. You can cross 90% marks very easily, don't worry, okay? But marks are not everything. This system is just now running in your body. So I want to understand your body, understand how things are working, so have a better life. Just wait, brother. Let me have water. Today, what happened? I'm happy Archika is such a good girl. I'm so much thankful to Archika. She's answering me. So we can skip some part which are not important because we have studied this previously. When you studied, beta, you studied this part. Which chapter? Archika, sir, we have skipped some part where this studied last year. But this is 10th class, na? This chapter is in 10th class or in 9th class. You have taught. Which school you are from, bache? This chapter was taught to you. I have taught. Acha, okay. Okay, some part. Fine, fine, fine. This was good. Okay, that's good. Because, but actually, when I'm teaching this, don't worry. We can go so slow and fast. It's not a big thing. These are systematic. That time I must explain you for your knowledge, but it is in the course, so I should tell you all the things very clearly. And luckily, don't worry. Now this time our course is quite reduced. Okay, so we have enough time. So I want whatever you study, if you've done it, very good. It's like a revision for you. But stay with me and understand what I mean to say, because any question would be asked, I want you must be clear. Okay, my point is this. She's saying that you have taught class. I know I got it, beta. Shigarika Gupta, thank you very much for clarification. I got it, beta. I got it. That's good. Okay. So fine. So this should. I hope this part is clear. This is what I want to tell you only. Okay. Next part. And when you talk about fluids, just keep in mind, okay, I'm telling you something. So, one is blood, keep in mind. The other circulating fluids. So, one is blood, I told you. One is lymph. You should know this is. And one is tissue fluid. So, if question asks, name the circulatory fluids in our body, you should know blood, lymph, and tissue. And I'm telling you, these are the cells. Suppose understand this, okay? Understand this, okay? This is this part is, so blood is circulating like this, and this part is capillary. Okay, so this part is artery, this part is vein. So under pressure, some blood would leak out from capillary. They would fill around the cells. This is called tissue fluid. The tissue which is leaked out from the part of the blood which leak out from the blood, this part is called tissue fluid. And in this tissue fluid there is only plasma and WBC. Two parts are there. And then they move in some channels. And then these channels are called lymph vessel. And what is filled inside, it is called actually lymph. It means tissue fluid and lymph both are the same thing, but when it is scattered between the tissues and cells, then it is called tissue fluid. When it starts moving in a channel, then that tissue fluid is known as lymph. And these vessels are called, or those vessels which are containing lymph, that is called lymph vessels. So this you should understand. What is blood? This is blood. Leak out is tissue fluid, and then when this tissue fluid is moving in lymph or these structures or these vessels, then this is called lymph vessel, and this tissue fluid which is moving inside this lymph vessel, it is called lymph. I hope to here I'm clear. Okay, fine. That's good. Okay, that's good. Okay, this is about tissue fluid you should know. And then next part, I should tell you non-circulatory fluid. Why I'm touching all the part, bache? Even I know you know the answers, but I want when this chapter is over and when you say, sir, this chapter is over and it's clear, I know you should know each and every answer. Point is this, okay? Question would be asked in the examination or it's for knowledge, it's for application, whatever you understand, but that should be clear to you what I want. When we talk about this non-circulatory fluid, one is synovial or synovial fluid. One is vitreous humor. These are present in bone joints, and this is an eye, and that's very simple. Okay, so if you talk about if you talk about these bones are here, and they in this capsule inside there's one fluid is there, it is non-circulating, that is called synovial fluid. And in our eye, if you talk about different part, this whole part, this is one fluid that is in eye, this is our lens here, and this whole part, this is vitreous humor, it gives the shape to our eye. Okay, so just I want to say, if it is asked name a non-circulating fluid of our body, you should say synovial fluid or vitreous humor. And this vitreous humor is present in our, you could see in our eye, as synovial in our joints. Okay, that's good. Next part, if you talk about blood, some points you should know in our body. Blood circulating in our body, you talk about the volume of blood in our body. Approx it is 5 to 6 liters in our body. You talk about taste of blood. Whenever there is cut in a body, I hope you must have touched or just licked your blood, and it is saltish just because of NaCl is present in the blood. And when you talk about a pH of a blood, it is 7 approx 4.3, or I can say 4.5 approx it is, or 7.3 to 7.45. It is alkaline, very close to neutral, because you all know, if you talk about scale like this, 0 to, it is 1, it is 6, it is 7, it is 8, it is 14. So from here to here it is acidic, this part is neutral, and this part is base. Okay, you should know, if you talk about pH scale, it is our blood, so our blood is alkaline, and it is very much close. If 7 is neutral, very much close to neutral. So it is I could say this is strong acid, it is weak acid, neutral, then I can say it is weak base and it is a strong base, depends. Okay, so it is alkaline but very much close to neutral, that is pH. This you should know. Color of the blood, you all know it is red just because of RBC. In RBC there is hemoglobin. Okay, so red blood cells containing hemoglobin, therefore color of the blood is red. You should know. This is the basics. You should know about this. And then you talk about one more thing. Function of the blood. I'm just touching on the topics and trying my best. If you talk about function of blood, first part, if you talk about transport digested food. Okay, so this is as I explained you all earlier, that function of blood is to transport digested food, and very simple, in the form of, it's not food whatever you eat, I'm telling you, it is form of glucose and amino acid and fatty acid. So my point is this: when food is digested in our intestine, from there food is transported through blood to all the parts of our body, that is transported or to transport digested food. That is one of the function of blood. Let us start number 2. Again, this is a transport. You all know in RBC there is hemoglobin. Okay, so if you talk about understanding of this, hemoglobin of RBC plus oxygen, it makes a compound. Anyway, you can write here oxyhemoglobin. So it means, I want to say, this oxygen is transported through blood by RBC, because RBC, they are red blood cells. The RBC cells contain hemoglobin, and this oxygen can combine temporarily with this hemoglobin. So temporarily it is combined with hemoglobin, and so this way oxygen could be given to the cells. So it can be detached easily. It is not a permanent compound. It is a temporary compound made with blood. So hemoglobin can make a compound that is oxyhemoglobin, but it is not a permanent compound. This you should understand. And this oxygen is transported through blood only. Number 3, we talk about, it is again transport of carbon dioxide this you must be knowing this class. This carbon dioxide plus hemoglobin, it makes carbamino hemoglobin. So please understand this. So this, why I'm purposely writing on the board, because you should understand this. If you talk about the main function of blood, you all know transportation, but transportation of oxygen in the form of oxyhemoglobin, so that this oxygen can be given to cells. From the cells, they can take carbon dioxide back. So therefore, the hemoglobin can combine with oxygen also, and hemoglobin can combine with carbon dioxide also, because from the cells they can take back carbon dioxide. So hemoglobin can give detached oxygen to the cells, and from the cells this blood with the help of hemoglobin can take back carbon dioxide. This compound name, what they are making this compound with oxygen, it is oxyhemoglobin. With the carbon dioxide, they are making one compound, that is carbaminohemoglobin. These names are very important. and the, and then carbon dioxide also transported in the form by plasma also in the form of carbonates. Okay, so it means I could say carbon dioxide can be transported through blood. In blood there are two parts, one the liquid part is plasma, so through liquid part also it is transported, and by the cellular part, that is RBC. So this carbon dioxide is transported via blood in two forms, through RBCs, that is hemoglobin, and through plasma and in the form of carbonates. This should be clear to you, what I feel, what I want. And if you talk about more about this is something very important I thought I should discuss with you. And next, if you talk about blood, let me tell you something more. You talk about protection. One function of the blood is also to protect our body. And very simple it is. If you talk about WBC, they are very smart, because in blood we have four main part, say RBC, WBC, platelets, and this is I call cellular part. One is plasma part, that is liquid. This part is 45%, this part is 55%. Okay, so this you should know. If you talk about blood, we have cells like RBC, WBC, and platelets, and liquid part, that is a plasma, 55%. This plasma actually contains, I'll talk to you afterwards about this. So I was talking about the one, I talk about first part, that is transportation by blood. Now I'm telling you how blood is very important in protecting our body. WBCs play very important role by killing, they kill germs, and by two methods are I'm telling you. Suppose this is our capillary, this is our capillary, okay? And this part is tissue, and here some germs are there. Suppose these are germs, and from this part WBCs can come out from here. This is WBC. So from the capillary, these WBC can cross this wall by the process, this process called diapedesis. This you should know. So WBCs can come out from the capillary wall by squeezing, because WBC can change their shape because they are amoeboid in shape. These WBCs can come out from this capillary, and they can engulf these germs and kill them. This process called diapedesis, and killing these germs or engulfing these germs is called one process. This process called phagocytosis. Okay, so these two terms I was thinking I should tell you. So when you talk about blood contains one more cell, that is WBC. These are called soldiers of our body. These WBCs can kill germs by engulfing, or by with the help of sometimes antibodies, also by chemicals also. So many methods are there killing these germs. So one method is very simple. They can come out from the capillaries, this process called diapedesis, and they can eat or engulf these germs by the process called phagocytosis. Next part, if we talk about, so when we talk about WBCs, they can kill germs by this method, and they can kill germs by production of antibodies. The two methods are there. Therefore, these WBCs are present in our blood, and they can kill germs by two methods: by engulfing or by production of antibodies. These are chemicals which can kill these germs. And if you talk about one more method, by the platelets, third one, the platelets are very important. They are important for clotting of blood. So this is something, this process is very important for a body, that is a clotting of blood. If in a body we have a big cut, and it may happen we may bleed to death, but these platelets can form clot, and it would actually stop the flow of blood from that area. I can save blood from running out of the body. So therefore these platelets are very important for the clotting. So it means I could say blood is very important for our body. And because I'm discussing just now with the function of this blood, I talk about the RBC, how they are so much important for the transportation of food and respiratory gases. WBCs are very important to kill germs. Our platelets are very important for clotting of blood. This is something about the function of the blood. And let's talk about the composition of blood. For this, let us understand this. One part is called cellular part, one part is liquid. And in cellular part, I just explained you just now, it is RBC, WBC and platelets. And this part is called blood plasma. As I told you, this part is approx 45%, this part is approx 55%. This is already I had discussed with you about the function of these blood cells. They all called blood cells actually. As I told you, these are amoeboid in shape. These are circular. Mature RBC without nucleus. It is amoeboid. They are very small. And if you talk about liquid part and the composition, they may contain, let me tell you one more part also. It may contain, I told you, food items like amino acid, hormones, glucose, urea would be there here, and even fibrinogen. They all are present here. Amino acid, hormone, glucose, urea, salts, salt like NaCl and sodium bicarbonate. These all are present in blood. So amino acid, hormones, glucose, food components, urea, fibrinogen, salts, they are all present in this part of this part is called plasma. One more thing I should want to tell you, if I talk about what is serum, just from plasma, if you subtract fibrinogen, it means if from the blood plasma, if you take out fibrinogen, that part is called serum. Even they are containing antibodies also this present in our. And above all, major part of this is water. Water in plasma is about 90%. Please don't get confused. In our blood, 45% cells and 55% plasma. Out of 55% of the blood, 90% is water, and rest part, approx 8 to 7 part would be amino acid, glucose, protein, urea, fibrinogen, salts, antibodies. These all are present in blood plasma. And if from the plasma, this is the note, if from the blood plasma you take out fibrinogen, that part is called serum. And last but not least, let me tell you something more. RBCs are also called erythrocytes. WBCs are called leukocytes. Platelets are called thrombocytes. Lifespan of RBCs, you keep in mind 120 days. They may be for the week, they are for also for some days only. But it is a very big lifespan, that is 120 days. This question will be asked in the examination and you should know also. So class, thank you very much. I hope whatever tried to explain it is clear to you. And please revise this work. I'm telling you whatever points I've touched. This is all in course. Question paper set based on this topic. So I try my best to touch all the points. And the points I'm touching purposely, these questions are asked by the council. Okay. So when I teach something, when I touch any point, they are very important. And above all, it is very important for your body also, and I want it's like applicable, understand with respect to your body also. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Take care. God bless you. Bye bye all of you. Take care.